It's time to relax with the Offspring.
Okay.
Well, we're back. No guests. No guests. Just the three of us.
Just the three of us.
Yeah. I wanted to let your personality shine this time,
Oh
Blackball.
shit.
You know, sometimes you just get
that's what I
overshadowed by all the other personality, and sometimes, I just want to make sure that you get your moment in the sun.
I don't actually think that's a good thing. You know, let's. I try to keep my personality like way dialed down. You know, because. Yeah,
and still,
it's still like.
Do people know at this point? I know we said it like once, but then people were probably like, "Who the fuck is this guy? This Blackball guy?
Who's our Baba Booey?
Blackball, Baba Booey. Yeah, Blackball is our
Baba
keep him separated guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We discovered it in a show.
Throw him some sugar, Blackball. How's it go? How's the line go?
You gotta keep them separated.
That's
it right there. That's the.
Bam.
30 years later, that's a long 15 minutes, man.
Now that's not your only line.
I would hire you. I would hire you today.
Yeah. See, listen, audition.
What are some of your other classic lines from
okay,
Offspring songs?
classic. Let me see. Mota.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Fuck it.
Oh,
right?
from like the Bad Times.
Yeah, see?
That
So-
time's roll. Yeah.
Do people like hire you for parties and stuff?
I should have a cameo, I think, right?
Cameo.
99-cent cameo. Come on, guys. Like
99 cents.
Let me quit one of my jobs, please.
Oh man, yeah. And as I remember that day, we didn't have any money to pay you, so we bought you In and Out.
Yeah.
Bought you a double.
I was. Well, in fact, that's where I literally came from right now. As soon as I got off the plane here, stopped In and Out. That's my very first stop every single time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, listen, I think that was well compensated. I no complaints for me.
No regrets.
No complaints.
Yeah.
Like,
In-N-Out.
everyone's like, dude, you should get more. I said, dude, I got paid. What the fuck are you talking
You
about?
got In and Out.
I
and
got
a
two
picture-
double-doubles.
Picture with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop
too,
Dogg.
right? You met him in the studio.
Warren G was recording in the same studio.
Same studio.
And I remember, what was that one fucking nerd? He used to be in the band. I forget his name. He used to.
Okay.
Anyways, I think he's
Maybe it's
an
good he
old
doesn't know.
drummer,
Okay.
something. But he was so fucking scared. Like, he's like, oh, dude. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. I said, fucking Snoop Dogg's right there. I said, I'm going to go ask for a picture. I just happen to have my camera in the car. And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, what's the worst he's gonna do? Like, he's gonna look at me and say, "Get the fuck out of here!" No, oh no, like I've been told no for a lot more fucking more things I've wanted than a picture of Snoop Dogg. Like, and so I went and I asked him. I said, "Hey, Snoop, can I get a picture?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's cool." Just all laid back, like in his total Snoop tone. He was sitting there playing video games, right? And so then he kind of came in and he hung out for about 15 minutes or so. I remember.
He
Just
did.
Super cool guy, you know.
Even us being in the same studio as Warren G is like, what the hell are we doing here? Because we were like
Back
in
then,
the low, cheap studios or whatever. And I think for whatever we were finishing up Smash, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And so we had to go to a better studio, at least for the mix. You know, the cheap studios to record the guitars and stuff. But we were trying to have a decent studio for the mix, and Warren G happened to be next door.
I thought you guys were fucking loaded because all the nice cars when I pulled up. I didn't know you still drove that piece of shit brown truck. I thought that was a janitor's truck or something, right? So I see all these super nice cars. I'm like, holy fuck. It turns out that's all Snoop Dogg and that whole entourage, right?
It's all them, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was hanging out, and he was nice enough to take a photo with you.
Yeah, I got my picture with Snoop Dogg, which has been a highlight for me. Like I literally just bought that CD, Doggy Style, like maybe a month before that, right? So I was so stoked on it, you know. So I was super excited about it, but yeah, like I remember one of the other members was like, no, don't ask. The fuck, I'm not gonna ask Snoop. It's fucking right here. I'm not gonna ask.
Picture with Snoop Dogg, double,
two doubles,
and two. Oh, that's right. We splurged, got you two. And
you said I could order anything I wanted, so I got some animal style fries, two doubles, and a large drink.
I do, yeah.
I fucking took you guys to the cleaners.
We're givers.
I seen you guys a mile away. I fucking I fucking took you guys to the cleaners.
We had Epitaph pay for it.
And on top of that, you became the keep him separated guy all in one day. That's a pretty good day.
Well, I remember like you were saying, you're like, I don't know if the record's pretty much done, so I don't know if the song's gonna be on it or not. I said, look, I don't fucking care. I just recorded a song with one of my favorite bands. How fucking cool is that, right? Like, and so then I we were at Iguanas in Tijuana. Was the first time you gave me a copy. I think it was like Bad Religion was playing down there.
Yeah, we opened up for Bad Religion.
Yeah, and you're like,
show.
hey, you gave me a copy of the cassette, and you're like, yeah, it's not going to be on there. I said, fuck, I don't care. And you're like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, they fucking love it, and they want it on the radio. And I'm like, what? And you're like, yeah, dude, and we're going to record a video. And I'm like, oh, and you're like, are you going to be in it? I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, it was kind of fucking wild.
It was crazy. Crazy time.
Yeah. Come Out
Good
and Play was the last song that we wrote for the album. So, maybe there was something, I didn't worry about it anymore, just write whatever, and then all of a sudden, sometimes the best stuff happens that way.
Yeah.
But I remember you were coming up to me, you were hitting me up for a cassette, and I had it in my pocket, but I told you I didn't have it. Yeah. And you're like, hey, what's up? And you pushed me in my chest, and it went jingle, jingle, that sound of the... You know that kind of plasticky, jiggly sound that a cassette makes? And you go, hey, what's up?
Motherfucker.
Had to see you out. Oh, you got busted.
Had the cassette. The cassette.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure I still have that. I actually just found a cassette of when I did Love Lines with you guys, with Ricky Rackman, that one time, and my wife recorded it, off the radio. And so, I literally just found that cassette too. So,
well, if you ever need some of this old stuff, talk to your buddy Daryl Kennedy.
Daryl is
stuff. He's got it all right.
He's the Offspring. If you guys need anything,
I think there's an old friend of ours who kind of sold some of this stuff without us being aware of it. And
maybe
every once in a while that stuff just shows up.
He's got it all, man. He's got it all cataloged and.
Well, cassettes were the way you had to do everything back then. I mean, you couldn't make a record in your bedroom, right? And cassettes, don't think you can record, and CDs weren't really a thing.
If you did, you used a Tascam, and it was a cassette.
Right? Yeah, it was a cassette. Yeah. Our first record, our self-titled record, we were so thrilled to be signed to Nemesis Cargo, whatever you call it, right? And he said, well, we're not going to do CDs on you guys, which was kind of. He saved the CDs for his better selling bands.
I remember that.
I think we're just going to do vinyl and cassette and see how it goes. So we didn't get any CDs out on that record for 10 years. But so when we finally signed Epitaph and did Ignition, and I actually got an actual CD, I was like, oh my God.
I remember
we fucking made it.
We made
dude,
CD.
I remember your parents were gone or something, so we're sitting in your backyard, and you had the 5-disc changer, and it was like Jane's Addiction, Us, Bad Religion, maybe Social D, and then probably Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah. And
look at this. We're in the same CD changer.
Take it in, boys.
We put it on
Take
shuffle,
it in.
and it was playing like our songs in between all this other great song, great music that we loved. It was a really cool feeling. Very cool feeling.
That's right. So speaking of which, we are coming up on the 30th anniversary of
me.
Play.
Yeah. Of me.
Yeah, wow. Of you.
That's a long 15 minutes, man.
Yeah, I guess.
A long 15 minutes. Holy shit.
You know what? I think about that a lot. I can't believe, it was one thing to be lucky enough to have one hit, We're still doing this 30 years later. We still get to do this. And we were doing it 10 years then, so we've been doing this for quite a while now.
Quite a while. Yeah. You've outlasted a lot of people around here.
Yeah. Listen, I'm one of the OGs now at this point, right?
Including some wives,
Yeah, here I am, baby. Here I am. Like a fucking cancer. I can't, you can't get rid of me.
Oh, man.
I was thinking herpes.
Yeah.
So, I remember one of the big moments is when I was just watching TV on a Saturday afternoon and the USC marching band played the song.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like, whoa. Yeah. And, of course, I went to USC, so it was like a really cool moment. But I'm hearing that UCLA played it. Is that right? Do you know about this?
Yeah. I heard they just played it just recently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's crazy the amount that it's still played. Like, I watch a lot of hockey, right? And I see it all the time at hockey games, and I've been at games with the kids, and I'm just with my kids, and there's a fight, and then you hear it play, and I'm like, your fucking dad's cool. See, you hear that? Your dad is cool.
Now you
man.
Your dad's cool.
Yeah.
We used to talk before it ever got played, and we're going, man, this would be the perfect fight song at a hockey game, right?
And it is.
Never thinking that it would happen,
yeah.
It
now,
really
you've
did.
Always
yeah.
been. Let's talk about. You've always been a Kings fan.
Always been a Kings
and
fan.
Now you're kind of a Kraken fan. Still a Kings fan.
100%. It's kind of a weird.
Is that what you call Kraken fans?
Yeah, well, I figure that's what everyone's gonna fucking call us, so I might as well embrace it and hey, you know what? I don't fucking care. You know, right. But yeah, no, I grew up a Kings fan. I remember I went to my first game when I was my older brother. He got tickets from his work, and he says, "Hey, Jason, go to the game with me." You know, this was back, you know, I was in high school. He's like, "Hey, come to the game with me," and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know shit about hockey." And he's like, "Oh, come on, I don't have no one to go with. I'll buy you a couple of beers." So of course, 15-year-old me is like, "Fuck yeah," you know. Yeah. So we drink a couple beers in the car. We go in, and I'll never forget, it was the Kings versus the Blackhawks, and we're about 4 rows above the penalty box. And this was back when helmets were optional. You could still put there was no fight straps on the jersey, so you pull them over your head. And the Kings and the player and the Blackhawks player.
I didn't even know you needed fight straps on jerseys, but
now
it makes perfect sense now.
Yeah. And they're sitting in a penalty box yelling at each other, "Fuck you, fuck you." And I could read. I'm like, holy shit! They get out the penalty box. They fucking fight right in front of me. They got to bring out a mop up the blood. And I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but I love this.
Drinking beer and blood.
I mean, it was a huge fight where, I mean, like I said, jersey over the head.
Occasional
just
goal.
Throwing haymakers. I said, holy fuck, I love this. And so then after that, I just kind of became a hockey fan. And I was working at McDonald's at the time, me and my buddy. And so when we were seniors, we bought season tickets for the Kings. And so we bought the 2 season tickets, and then I just been a Kings fan ever since, right? And then when I moved to Seattle in '95, and so we got a team up there, and you know, Seattle's my home.
It's been that long,
right?
95?
95.
You moved up there? I can't believe
Yeah.
it's
95.
Jeez.
Now, people probably figure because you're the Keep 'em Separated guy, you must be like a multimillionaire and, you know, big house, fancy cars, but that's actually not the case, right?
I got paid 2 double-doubles, and I think we just established my pay here.
So you're you got like a regular job, right?
Yeah, I'm an insurance adjuster.
I'm
an insurance adjuster. Imagine that.
What does an insurance adjuster do?
So when you wreck your car, and you call your insurance company, I'm the guy who comes out and looks at your car.
And you decide how much it's worth? Or if it's worth fixing?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm the one who says, this is what we're going to pay. This, and I'm the one who works with the shops and works with the customers and stuff like that. So
then people must try to talk you up and say, hey, we need more for this car or something like that, right? I mean, you get worked?
Well, no, not necessarily. It's actually pretty... You know, I think if you get me for an insurance adjuster, I think you're pretty lucky. You know,
I would say so.
I think I'm good at my job. I think I know
your bosses might listen to this now.
But I'm very accurate on my estimates, and I never pay a penny more than I. But no, like I said, I do. I
imagine a lot of it's just computers now, anyways, and it's just algorithm.
Oh, dude, you just press a button. You're like, oh, that's a part. That part looks fucked up, and you press a button, replace. You know, it's essentially like that, yeah.
And you just got a new job, like with State Farm or something like that?
I'm at the farm now, yeah. I
used
to
the farm?
Work,
one of the best companies in the country, I'm sure, right?
State Farm. It's Jason from State Farm. I know I sound hideous, you know. But, we're just saying how terrible I looked on the camera, so it all makes sense.
But you've told me some stories. You've seen some crazy shit. Like, you'll have to go to, because it's like an accident scene or something. You talked about some guy committing suicide.
I've seen. I had to go look at a horse trailer where the guy, it was like a bitter divorce, right? And so he went to where they were getting, their kid was getting horse lessons, and so he didn't pick his kid up to go take him to the horse lessons, and so he went to. The wife ended up, the ex-wife was taking him, and his car's there, and he's like, I'm in the horse trailer. She went to the horse trailer. He took a shotgun and blew himself up right in the head. So it wasn't even his horse trailer, right? It was the guy. So I went out there, I opened the door, and there's fucking like little pieces of skull and hair just kind of, and you can see where he was sitting. Yeah, it was pretty fucking, that was one of the gnarliest ones. And then also where, like, I seen like where homeless dude, stole a gardener's truck, right? A landscaper's truck, and led the police on a high-speed chase, and then he took a shit in a truck. And I'm like, I open a door and there's just this fucking human turd, and I'm just like, total loss. Yeah,
what's the
I'm
button?
not touching anything.
Total loss.
Total loss.
Yeah, total loss.
What's the button for turd, right?
Yeah. Like I'm like, all you see this fucking log of turd, right?
I'm thinking what was it? The hobo orgy from The Other Guys.
Yeah.
Adam McKay.
Well, I had I was talking to one of my buddies. He works for a different carrier, and he was on the 101 in Washington, which is up the coast by the rainforest, right? And a bear came out, and the car hit the bear. The bear flew up into the windshield, and his ass went through the windshield and died. And then
his ass died?
No,
the
whole bear
died.
But then, wait, there's more. The bear shit all over. After he died, both people in the front of the car. So
but the people survived.
Yeah, just covered in fucking bear shit.
Okay. So it's not easy being an insurance adjuster. Like you get hazard pay, PTSD pay.
Listen, they paid me a double.
Mental anguish.
I get paid more than that. I do the.
But you can't get doubles up in Washington.
There's no in and out.
No in and out. We need that. So if anyone's listening that can make that happen, please make that happen. But yeah,
Mr. In and Out, if you're listening,
it's creeping up. It's creeping up the coast, right? It's in Eugene now. I think they're going to be getting one in Portland here. So I'm hoping sooner. Listen, it's probably better. I'd probably be 100 pounds heavier. If there wasn't in and out up there. So it's probably
it works out for the
best, right? Like, again, as soon as I flew in, the first thing I did, first stop always is at In and Out. And like
you flew down today just for the podcast, right? So you're in Seattle and we're down in Orange County, LA here. So and your stop on the way was In and Out.
And the last stop before I fly back out to In and Out. So
2 double-doubles?
Yeah, 2 double-doubles. You know the drill, man. I'll send you the bill. I'm sending you the bill.
Dexter and I have been setting aside the double-doubles. We've both been trying to diet and exercise.
That's right.
He exercises more than I do, quite a bit more. But I try. I want to talk about some of the training and some of the exercising you've been doing. What you have been doing?
Tell them what you've been doing. Yes, I'd like to know.
What I've been doing?
Sure.
I haven't been doing shit. This young gentleman here, though, has been doing half Ironman competitions.
Well, sort of.
Looking svelte.
It's not a whole Ironman. It's just a half Ironman, right?
Yeah. It's Copperman.
That's still, it's what, 1.2 miles swimming, right?
It's a 1.2 mile. It's a triathlon, so that means you swim and then you bike and then you run. Right. So it's a 1.2 mile swim. Then you get out of the water and you get on your bike and you do a 56-mile bike.
56-mile bike.
It's a long bike.
3 hours.
And then you get off the bike and then you run a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. So it's a long way. It's a long way.
You just did one just over a week and a half ago.
I just did. I've always kind of run like since high school. We've talked about how we kind of started the band through cross country in high school and all that stuff.
I ran too, but it was usually when I was being chased
by the police.
By other classmates.
You look like a runner too. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Well, my diet is poverty and depression. If you're wondering, so
I like that.
That works too.
Yeah. But like as we get older, you just can't run as much as you used to. It's just as hard on the body, hard on the knees or whatever, and so. So I decided.
So you're only doing half marathons on top of bike rides and swims.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I thought, I'll try this whole triathlon thing, right? Which maybe it's a bad idea. I should have started it in my 30s or whatever. But I like it. I like that I still get the workouts in, but I'm not just hammering my knees all the time or whatever, right? So I'm able to kind of space it out. And so so I've done a couple. This was my third. This is my third half Ironman, right? And
you've done a couple of marathons before.
I did a couple marathons, like 15 years ago, the LA Marathon, right? Yeah. And so this they do Ironmans and half Ironmans all over the country. It's a whole thing. But this one was in Muncie, Indiana.
Indiana. All right.
I chose Muncie because it's flat and it's cool.
The weather's really cool. Not too hot.
Yeah. You don't want to pick someplace hot.
Muncie, you're cool.
I don't want to go to Florida or some. Not that I don't love Florida, but I mean it's probably
not really
tougher.
marathon when you're going to
Ironman
Florida.
material.
It's to lay on the beach, relax. not necessarily run a fucking marathon.
That's right.
That makes sense.
You said you did one about a year ago. Was the last one?
The last one
was about a year ago, and then you just did one a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago.
How much better did you do on this one than you did on?
Thank you for asking. I actually did. I cut a whole hour off my time, which is crazy. That's a lot of time. So I don't know. So
Cheater.
yeah.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got an e-bike now. It's it's great. Works a lot better and stuff.
He's got his Heelys.
Don't get me started on those e-bikes. So I see them in my neighborhood.
Now, it's inspiring to see all these people that are, trying really hard and everything. And it's also, you realize how crazy these guys are, right? But
did you shit yourself? I've seen a lot of marathon videos where people shit themselves.
Shit running down their legs.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Did you wear a diaper?
But when you all
how do you think he's losing all that weight?
How do you prepare for that? Like you can't obviously go out for Mexican food the night before, right? Like
you got to eat light. Eat light the night before for sure. Get the pasta in the night before that or something.
So
right?
2 nights before you carbo load.
The carbo load, right? That's what they used to call it back in the day. But when you're doing the swim, you're jumping in the ocean or a lake or reservoir, and sure, get your piss out there.
Yeah.
But everyone's scrambling, so you're just getting slapped and everything. No one's doing it maliciously, but you're really getting knocked around and stuff. And it's kind of that's kind of unnerving, that first part of it or whatever. You're glad to finally get out of the water and get on the bike. But the bike is the longest part of the race. It's like, around 3 hours, depending on how good. Yeah, you're like, and the attraction is.
Yeah. Listen, I don't see why. Yeah. Listen, I was happy to do the eating contest. That's where I set my goal.
Okay, so you know about pushing yourself,
pushing my limits.
Oh, that's right. You did some of those.
The taco contest. I was the only non-competitive eater that joined, right? and my whole goal was to not finish last. That was it. I just wanted to not finish last, and so. Talking to Dexter,
how did you do?
Not last.
Not last.
Yeah.
All right.
And so that I made my fucking goal,
Yeah, nice.
And I think if there's another one, I think I could finish not last, maybe even move up.
Oh, all right.
Trim another person, finish 2 people in front.
Not
right?
second to last.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I remember talking to through you and Kobayashi, and he said to train, you drink a gallon of water. It's about 8 pounds. And so, it was a 10-minute contest. So try to drink a gallon of water in 10 minutes.
The day before, though, right?
Yeah. Well, no, this was I was fucking training, dude. Months and months before.
Months before, okay.
Twinkies, carbing up, all of it. Fuck yeah.
Twinkies?
I was all in. And so, but the
carving
water,
up,
the water, you drink it to stretch your stomach, right? So I could almost finish the gallon of water in 10 minutes before I throw up,
right?
And so I was like, okay. And so what Kobayashi, his tip was, to 2 days before the competition, go eat as much food as you can eat, and then the day before, just eat a shit ton of ice cream, because the ice cream will go right through you, right? It melts and goes right through you, but it keeps your stomach stretched and empty. And I probably shouldn't be saying this in case
stretched and empty.
In case there's a couple of people listening, I'm going to compete against.
Trade secret.
Yeah. God damn it.
Giving it up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so it's like to train.
The magician never gives away his tricks, man.
You know the discipline that you need to have
discipline,
to get it.
Focus,
right?
determination.
But
I get it. I get it.
But yeah, no,
I don't understand any of that.
When you're done, it feels pretty good. You feel pretty good about wow, okay, I just did that and stuff. And I really have a lot of admiration for all these other people that are.
I do some exercise, but I don't like punishing myself physically the way you do. I like to punish myself emotionally more than physically.
That's how you should do it. But
that's how I stay in shape.
But so you're a depression guy too, then?
Yeah.
Poverty.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah.
Poverty, depression. Right. Yeah. But maybe the best part of the triathlon is the outfits. So the thing is, you got to wear a certain outfit because you're going to be in the water, and then you're not going to change when you get out of the water, and you got to get on the bike, so you got to have a butt pad, and then you don't want to change after you get off the bike, so you wear a tri. They call it a tri kit, and so we have a couple. I think do we have a couple pictures of the race?
Oh. Show that.
Yeah, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so that's on the run.
That's the tri-kit.
Yeah, that's a tri-kit right there.
My God.
And that's on the bike. See, I wanted evidence that I actually did. These aren't not staged photos. These are real photos. actually.
Exactly. If you stage them, they definitely look cooler, right? Like,
yeah, look cooler. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I paid that guy to be behind me, so it looked like I beat somebody, right? There you go.
you gotta sell those shorts on like Offspring triathlon shorts.
But there's a finish line shot though. I want
the money shot.
Well, I want
finished.
Yeah, I finished. I finished. I'm not winning any awards or anything, definitely. But
and you look not last also.
Not last.
I see it.
Not last. That's right. So anyway, it was cool. It was a cool experience. I went in to get my number. You got to do it the day before, whatever. You go into this little convention center, and they said, "Oh, we've got a special tag for you over there." Anyway, they figured out who I am. They're like, "We would just love to interview you for Iron Man." And
wow.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to stand around in that thing, that outfit, and talk for 10 minutes.
Oh, please, dude, please.
Yeah. Well,
stretching around.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it would be fun. We should do something around it. If I do another one next year, maybe more of a thing, because it's a cool thing. I know I'm kind of taking the piss out of my performance, but it's really cool.
No,
totally,
rad,
dude. And
you did.
I mean, you shaved an hour off your time.
That's
the
right.
Whole race. That's great, and that's what you want to do. You forget competing with the guys that are ringers, right? You're not going to compete with those guys. You want to compete with yourself. You want to improve, and you were able to do that, and then some. I think.
I mean, fuck, dude, an hour.
So here's to shaving off
Either
for another
you really
hour next
sucked
time.
the year before, or because shaving an hour off is really fucking impressive.
Yeah. No, you're out on the road for 6-7 hours, whatever. It's a freaking long time.
That's brutal,
imagine the
dude.
amount of doubles you could eat after if you did one.
Yeah.
So Trevor, our buddy, who he did it with you.
He did.
He said, he goes, it's kind of counterintuitive. He goes, you want this to end so bad that you start going faster. You hurt yourself more.
Right.
To make it end more quickly.
That's right.
It's like you're almost punishing yourself more to get done with it. I know.
Yeah, maybe I'll do one next with you, Dexter.
Yeah. But you know what? Touring it's physical, right? I mean, it's
for sure.
There's definitely a physicalness, just so that you have to get up and travel every day, and you're jet lagged, and you're up in the middle of the night, and all that stuff, and that kind of it wears you out after a while. But the shows themselves are physical, and we're playing for an hour and a half now and stuff, and so that was kind of part of the motivation too. I wanted to feel better for the shows and feel a lot better.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, dude, the shows have been like, you guys are fucking killing it, dude.
Oh, go on.
Thanks.
Stop it some
Don't
more.
stop.
Go on.
Don't
stop. No, you guys. I mean, dude, the shows have honestly never been funner, dude. Like, honestly,
we've been getting a lot of really good positive feedback from people that have been, with us for 30 years, saying that we're on top of our game, and it feels that way. It really does, and the crowds have been better than ever before.
You guys have really been like, it shows. Everybody's having so much fun, right? So it's almost like I don't know like everyone who's in the band now is fucking so much fun, and they're like just such positive energy.
What are you trying to say?
This is my favorite lineup. I'll just just rip the Band-Aid off. I love this fucking lineup.
Yeah, no, we're having a great time. The tour's been great. We just did this U.S. summer tour, which was incredible. We haven't really talked about it, I guess, right? So much yet.
I don't think so.
We're about to go on it when we did the last podcast.
Yeah, this is our first podcast since the U.S. tour. I think we did one between Canada or Australia, Europe, and the U.S.
Best shows we ever had.
Yep.
Biggest crowds we've ever had.
Same with the European tour before. Our biggest headlining shows ever in Europe, and this was our biggest headlining shows ever in the U.S.
Really, really great.
Tour-wise, yeah.
And just so grateful and like, whoa, still going on. Yeah, it's great. I think that's part of it when you're in a band for a long time. Like, you're always kind of waiting for it to like, okay, well, this is the end. Here we go. We're playing the swap meet, and somehow. It's still going on, which is amazing. So
incredible. Yeah. Like I said earlier, the fact that we still get to do this, after the come out and play days, being blown away. Then it's still mind blowing that we get to do this and go on. And it's even better. And our fans were just incredible. Everyone that came out, both in Europe and in the U.S. for the shows, every night, it was just incredible. It seemed to get better and better.
Well, the energy feeds off of each other, right? So the crowd feeds off of your energy, and then you guys feed off of them, right? So it's like,
But we're starting to see faces that we recognize, almost every night in the crowd. And then sometimes they're bringing their kids now. I mean, we just have some of the best fans in the world. It's really cool. I see a lot of people, hey, I'm bringing my kids. Or fans go, I'm going to bring my dad. My dad was a big fan of yours. 20 years ago. And
it is funny. Yeah,
cool.
We didn't see that a while ago, and we see a lot of that now. And maybe as uncool that would have seemed 20 years ago, now I'm stoked. I think it's great. I think it's so cool to see.
Other than my dad. My dad's always been there.
Yeah, he's always been there.
He's always been there.
That was good.
But no, it's like this tour was a lot of fun and a lot of positive feedback. Like same thing, Daryl has a fan page on Facebook that he runs, and it's got like 17,000, 18, 19, almost like 20,000 fans.
Good guy,
right?
solid, and he treats the fans great too.
He's awesome.
Does things for the fans.
He's awesome, and everybody just talks about, everybody was so excited to go to the shows, and nothing but. Like wow, just amazed and floored. So
a lot of positivity. It feels really good.
That's awesome. So, we want to play well. We want to deliver a good show and everything. But I mean, I think the most important thing is we want the crowd to have a good time, right? We're not there to prove anything about how good a song we can play or the deepest cut or whatever necessarily. And we want the crowd to have a good time, and that's what we're striving for. And
I think we've come a long way in that regard. And how you and I. Talk to the audience in between songs. We try to, without talking too much, we do like to address the audience and check in, how you guys doing, and just have some fun and banter.
The banter's great,
So it's been a lot of fun lately.
That was one of the biggest challenges is that we started playing in clubs for 100 people, 200 people, right? And we came from the punk thing. The punk thing was that you are not the spectacle to be gazed on by the crowd. The punk thing was like we're all having a big party together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our stages were 12 inches high and all that stuff.
The crowd was, on the stage and off the stage throughout the show. It was like, interactive for sure.
I love that energy. I still do, right? I love when we get a chance to play smaller shows and stuff. So that was great. But that's kind of what we grew up. That's where we got our chops. Right. And so it was like, hey, how you doing? Look at that guy, that sort of thing, right? So then when you go, all of a sudden you're playing to where there's people that are 200 yards away in the back. I felt like I don't know how to reach that guy back there because it's not the same. He can't he can't relate the same way, right? And there's a different energy playing bigger shows. And people say, do you like the big shows better or the little shows? And I love them both. I love the little shows because you're right there in it. But the big shows have this energy that's insane, right? There's something really cool about it. So it was all about,
that feels like it in the world. Yeah, it's almost an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Well, if you could get all those people, right, like get everyone into it, that's fucking awesome. It's like an intimate show because everybody's just fucking rocking out, having a good time.
Well, and you can tell when you get them and when you don't. Fortunately, we are always able to kind of connect with the crowd,
especially with this lineup.
But yeah. Well, let's talk about let's talk about who's in the band. So it's me and you, of course, and then Brandon Pertzborn is on drums. He's been with us for a few months now, not even a whole year.
Really great,
phenomenal, great guy to hang out with, and just a phenomenal drummer. Just really, he's.
Were you guys nervous though?
He's up there with Josh
because
for sure.
you guys have had good drummers.
Brandon's great.
Brandon's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like he's so talented and so fun too, right?
Yeah.
Like he's
got great energy. He's just so consistent and just fun to play with, and we're still working stuff out. He can change on a dime. He's if we want to, let's try something else. At the very end of the song or whatever. And he's all about it. He loves the music. He's having a blast. The way we found him is he did a video for Hammerhead. He said he remembered when that song first came out. He's always loved it and he always wanted to play that. And so he did a video for that, and somebody saw it and turned us onto it. I think it might have been somebody through management he
just posted it on his Instagram.
Yeah. And so we saw it, and we're like, asking around, and he'd played with a bunch of bands. He played with
he's played with some
Suicidal
great bands.
Tendencies. He played with Horror, Limp Bizkit. He's played with some big bands, and so he's definitely up for the challenge. He's got just a great attitude.
Well, he's extremely talented, and he's a great guy too, right? And same with Todd. Todd is so much fun.
Let's talk about Todd too. Yeah. So Todd's been on bass for 5 years now.
I think so.
Yeah. And just phenomenal. You know, he was our utility guy. He was playing maybe some keyboards, but mostly just guitar and backing vocals.
Mm-hmm.
When the bass position opened up, he expressed some interest in that, and we said sure. And you know, he's a guitar player mainly. He did play some bass in one of his cover bands, some Petty Cash stuff.
Yeah.
They do Tom Petty and Johnny Cash covers, but
They're awesome.
you know,
Yeah.
they're the super fun band if you ever get a chance
totally.
to check them out. But that's not that's just playing bass for fun. That's not really focusing. And he took lessons. He figured out that playing bass is different than guitar. You want to be locked in with the drums. You know, it's a different feel. You know, with guitar, sometimes you want to lay back, sometimes you want to be out ahead of it. You know, but with bass, you got to really get that groove and find the groove with the drummer. And he's been great at it. He's taken and his
he's
attitude.
awesome,
he loves it. He loved learning it. You know, he just had a blast, and he's so fun to play with. He's up there having a great time every night. Loving the crowd. He's
a fun guy to hang out with.
The crowd's loving him.
Right?
He's the Ronnie Wood of the band. He's the Ronnie Wood.
Yeah.
That's what I call him.
Pretty much.
Fun
Fun
guy.
Only way better looking.
Yeah.
He's so goddamn good looking, that guy.
Yeah, that's probably standing next to him. Kind of fucked up.
Yeah, and then there's Jonah. Anyway, so now Jonah's great too. I'm not going to go into what I think you might go into because I don't think we're ready to go into that. But
okay, I was just going to say Jonah plays a little bit of everything, and
okay.
You know, he's our utility guy. He took Todd's spot.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to say he was vegan.
We're not ready to get into that yet.
Okay,
we're not ready. Save it.
We won't talk about his being. Yeah.
Let the audience get to know him first.
But no, we got to get him in here.
Then they'll accept him.
Yeah, we got to
He's
get him in here.
originally a drummer, and that's his main instrument was drumming, and then he can play circles around me on guitar. He's a phenomenal guitar player. Also plays some keyboards and stuff. So he can really
that's
hit
gotta scare you a little bit.
Cover it all.
How
He
good
plays
he is at guitar,
dude. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. See when
Noodles practices a lot more now.
Yeah. Now I had to stay home. A member of my family was ill, and I had to stay home a couple of years ago. And so that's when we first met Jonah. Jonah was filling in for Todd, who filled in for me, and I was fine with Todd filling in for me on guitar.
Sure.
I'm glad it wasn't Jonah filling in for me on guitar because I might not have made it back into the band.
Yeah.
Jonah is just that good. He's a great guitar player.
Yeah. So got a great group of guys and stuff, and we're just having the best time, shows ever. Yeah. It's really great.
Well, it shows, man, because I mean, like I said, I honestly think this is my favorite. I've been watching you guys since with tens of people at the Anti-Club.
Yeah.
You know,
totally.
so this lineup right now, I think, is honestly my favorite. As a longtime fan of the band,
mine too.
It's just great, and I think the energy kind of, just like I said, the crowd feeds off of that. And then I think that you guys feed off of that, that crowd energy, right? So
for sure,
yeah.
And these tours have just been incredible. Once I was home for a week, it was hard to take it all in. And once I was home for a week, I kind of just looked back and went, "Wow, that was crazy." And I just reached out to the guys in the band and management and just went, "You guys, that was really incredible." I mean, I'm starting to sober up and come down off the high a little bit.
Have it sink in,
been
right?
Incredible, yeah. What an incredible run.
It was great,
so.
but
you're gonna be able. I'm just curious how long you think you can do this. I literally just went and saw Cheap Trick and Rod Stewart.
Okay,
and Rod Stewart, that motherfucker. That fucking guy is 78 years old.
Is he?
Wow.
And he was fucking rocking out, man. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Is that guy must be just backstage doing cocaine and oxygen fucking shots and he played like 2 hours. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know how he did it.
That's awesome.
We went and saw Paul McCartney about 5 years ago, and he was incredible and played like a 3-hour show, 2.5 to 3 hour show. I saw the Rolling Stones about the same time, about 4 or 5 years ago, right before the pandemic. I saw.
So like 20 years ago, they used to get shit for being 60 or whatever, right? And now they're go.
Dude, I just saw also Iron Maiden. They played up in Seattle. And holy shit, he's up there fucking sword fighting a 12-foot Eddie on a like a 2-level stage. Like,
they're incredible. Nico's
he's
not
70,
missing a beat.
74,
He's
75.
great.
I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Just imagine if they did triathlons.
Yeah,
imagine,
holy shit.
Imagine where they'd be.
And that's what yeah. So I'm not trying to keep up with him. All I'm trying to do is I want to be able to do this for as long as I can. I love doing this, so I'm just trying to
if you're not,
develop some better habits.
We got Jonah.
I'm trying to, I know, right? So
he's
that's
ready.
That's exactly what. Yeah,
he's ready.
I don't need to keep up with him. I just need to beat Jonah.
Yeah, one step. Hey, you just gotta not be last, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it when I see bands that keep on doing it because it's like, all right, more time for us.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Go AC/DC,
and
right?
it bums me out. There's, some of our friends are calling it quits. NoFX has played their last show. Sum 41 is winding things down.
Yeah.
I'm bummed. I love both those bands, and
Do you really think NoFX is done though?
I don't know. That's what they say. I hope not. I honestly hope they do something in the future.
I think they'll be back.
So, although I'm going to get a new. Yeah, I'm going to get a new.
I have no reason to
surfboard
think that other than. Maybe I just want them back, but
I hope they don't start doing shows again until Smelly makes me a surfboard. He's the drummer. He shapes surfboards, and we talk. I'm gonna have him make me a surfboard now.
Okay.
Yeah. I know it's interesting, especially with COVID. We were talking about like, I wonder if some bands just aren't going to come back, right? And I think we saw that with a few, right?
Yeah.
That they just couldn't, like, if you're a band that doesn't play for very many people, then you have a job, you had a job, and hopefully you kept it. But it was the kind of like the guys in the middle where they were just barely making a living, and then they're screwed, right?
Yeah.
So, but
heartbreaking.
Anyway, yeah.
Heartbreaking. We're very lucky. We were.
Well,
we were
then
in a
on
good
top of that,
position
just
to
all the
weather it,
venues that have shut down too, right? Like that really kind of limited the touring and stuff too. So, it's as a fan, I want all the bands to come up to Seattle, right? But yeah, there's a lot of times that there's not a fucking place to play.
Did you guys lose some clubs?
Yeah, we did. We lost the High Line. There's just a couple places. I mean, we got a few places left. Between that and Amazon taking over and, kind of running all the clubs out, it's really been kind of fucked up. But
hey, speaking of old artists, how's Mariah Carey doing?
Flawless as ever.
No one got the joke.
Flawless as ever.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
She's flawless. Come on, man.
Well, Black, you're a huge fan. I think everyone knows by now that you're a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Huge.
And so you sent me a text the other day because it was a flyer of her shows coming up, her Christmas shows coming up.
I've already got tickets.
Do you really?
It's 36 more sleeves as of the date we're recording this.
Now,
that I'll be seeing her.
Where did the attraction start for you?
Vision of Love. Right at the beginning. Right at the beginning.
Well, you didn't even finish the question.
No, listen, I've liked her right from song number one, man, and I've been head over heels.
Now, is it audio? Did you hear her first and go, I love this voice, or did you see a video first and go?
Probably not. I probably saw the video first.
Yeah. Who's that?
I can't say, I can't confirm, but knowing me, it was probably the video. Probably same way.
Knowing you the way I do, that's what I figured.
Same way I like Megan Stallion, right? Like I saw her on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Megan V is
the Stallion. Yeah, Megan V Stallion.
V is pretty stunning.
Yeah, she's
right.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And so then, so that was definitely visual first. Right. But Mariah Carey, like I said, I've always just liked her right from song one. Right?
So how long did it take you to knock one out?
I can finish in a video. I can finish in a video. If we're talking the honey
now,
video,
like a whole YouTube video or an Instagram 30 seconds.
If we're talking the honey video, I can probably make it before to the chorus.
Yeah,
maybe the first chorus.
Maybe
dude. One of the funniest
things. That honey video, like there's just a like the beginning where it's just a setup before the song even starts. Like I can sometimes finish.
One of the funniest pranks I ever saw on the internet was your buddy Joel. You met Joel in the service?
No, I met Joel on Grindr. I met Joel. Unfortunately, I met Joel through. I
think you guys were in the service together.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in the service with me. I was in the Army Reserves.
Yeah.
for like right when I was 18, I joined the Army Reserves. But
thank you for your service.
Come on, it was Army Reserves.
Right.
Like, but
my dad was in the Air Force Reserve. So
well, thank him for his service. I guess we'll sit here.
Let me finish the story though. So your buddy Joel, who I think is hysterical, really funny guy, just biker dude, facial hair. He knows how much you guys used to just rip each other on Facebook, just the most crass, rudest jokes.
Do.
Well, Joel figured out how to do the facial software stuff, so he would do Mariah Carey videos with his face on it and just send them to him, tag him to him.
Not funny.
It was so funny. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing
not
ever.
Even funny a little bit. Not even a little funny.
You love Mariah so much
Hysterical.
that you've got a Mariah tattoo. Is that right?
Tattoo, yeah. I got her tattooed right here on my leg, where I can watch it and finish off that if I need to. But
if you're in a pinch,
yeah,
if you're like not in front of your computer.
Listen, I grew up when it was the Sears catalog, and it's like, I could do that. I could finish with this.
Okay, Sears catalog.
So yeah, I mean,
You've done worse.
I've done
worse. You've worked with less.
When Joel was posting all those videos, would his face creep in while you were thinking about?
I could still finish. I would just look at. I would focus on the body, not the face. So I just train my eyes, to look lower.
Do you think Mariah Carey knows who you are? Like, does she know how you feel about her?
No, well, I've sent her lots of messages. She hasn't responded. Although maybe she did with that Obsessed song. Like, but no, I've never got to like see her. I mean, I've seen her in in
been to concerts, yeah.
But I've never got to meet her.
Right.
But
well, I think security's probably on to you if they hear any of this.
They still
now,
let me in.
and,
they still let me in though.
They let you in the concert, but nowhere near
yeah,
backstage.
There was a couple. Back in the early 2000s, man, there was a couple of shows where, like, I think she had an outfit change every song, and it got smaller and smaller. I was like, one more fucking encore. One more encore, and she's gonna be dressed like Britney. I'm like, come on, people, keep cheering, come on. It just got littler and littler. I was like, oh fuck, man, God. But yeah, no, I'm definitely a huge fan. I think she's beautiful, and I love her music. I mean, honestly, when Glitter came out, we went that opening weekend. I took my wife with me to go see
movie.
The movie, and literally opening weekend, we're the only two people.
Did it last more than one weekend? Didn't it close after the first weekend?
I can't. I saw it opening weekend, and we were the only people in the theater.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty
I loved
poorly
it,
received,
actually.
I
think it's a great movie, and I've probably seen it, dozens of times, actually.
How does your wife feel about your infatuation with Mariah Carey?
She gets it. She gets it.
When we were signed to Columbia, when we were signing to Columbia, we actually flew out and met with Tommy Mottola, who was married to Mariah at the time.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And he goes, "Oh, I really like you guys." He goes, "Mariah really likes you guys too." And he goes, "Who she really likes is that Rancid."
yeah.
Fuck you.
Sort of a backhanded compliment.
Totally.
Well, fuck that guy.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Mariah.
He'll have you whacked.
I probably shouldn't. Back off a little bit.
No, Tommy, we're full. Mad respect.
Yep. Do you actually have tickets for Mariah Carey?
Yeah.
Which show are you going to?
The LA one, November 17th.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll be down here.
Okay.
I'm coming down for
that. Are you trying to get us to go? Are we going?
Yeah,
or?
let's go.
All right.
You guys gonna go?
We have any poll there?
Not anymore.
Come on. Come on.
Thanks a lot, Blackball.
God damn it. No, dude, no, she wrote a song just totally blasting her marriage, right? Like, it's a great song. But like her marriage to Tommy Mottola,
Right.
But yeah, now she's got some other
I love a good breakup song.
She's got her fucking some other nudnik she's with now, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's only because she hasn't met me, I think,
All right.
But whatever.
She'll get around to it.
Yeah, I think so. I think, that's why, I'm like, maybe. That's why I told Andrea, I said, listen, we'll take 2 cars in case I go home with Mariah. Like, I don't know, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we coming up on? 15 years of Rise and Fall,
Raging Grace. Yeah. We get messages from our record label all the time saying, hey, we want to do a special edition of Rise and Fall, Raging Grace because it's been 15 years. But what I don't know if they realize this or not, but like we've put out 10 albums, so you can pick almost any year,
seriously.
and there's going to be an anniversary of something, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, well, Rise and Fall 15, okay, great, and it was.
And they want to remarket it and try to make some more money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
last year it was Ixnay because it was 25
right
for Ixnay.
I mean, and it's cool because we do different stuff. We get involved and add some different artwork, some different content.
Right.
Well, fans love that shit though too, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds. And honestly, there's fans that have gotten into you guys at Americana, right? Or later, even days go by. I've seen where fans are like, "Hey, this is where I learned about Offspring." Shit.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of people to kind of even be introduced to some of the older stuff.
Yeah. So you never know. You never know what we might commemorate because in a year, like for example, this would have been the year to do Americana.
Yeah.
25 years of Americana this year, and somehow I don't know that
30 years
they
of
missed it.
Blackball.
That's next year. That's next year's, buddy.
Blackball.
You're coming on tour with us next year.
Yeah. I have to take the whole year off. That's like 30 years of Blackball. Right?
But so we got to make sure we hit the next, whatever the next one is. We got to hit Americana on that one. But this time around, it's Rise and Fall. And I agree that the record company always comes up with like, they want to do something special for the fans, and they make crazy lithograph stuff and foil and different colored vinyl, and it's really cool. So we're happy to be a part of it and stuff. It's really cool.
You should do, if you're gonna do that too, like on tours, you guys should do like a heavier, maybe revisit a few songs you don't typically play off of that.
Some of the
record,
deep cuts,
right? Yeah,
absolutely,
some of the deeper ones that the fans
yeah.
always kind of want and kind of clamor for. So
I always love that. I always love doing that. And it's a challenge. Some of that stuff, we've had to go back and learn a lot of that stuff. But some of that stuff, like we never did Something
Jonah
to Believe in off Smash, and we had to learn that.
We never played that
on Americana that we never learned, and we did some of that. Same with Ixnay too. What was like Change the World, right?
For sure,
something we never played before.
We
had to learn that. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Some stuff. Yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
All right, but so that was the first record we recorded in our own studio. Pretty much the whole thing was done.
Rise and Fall.
Rise and Fall, yeah.
Where we're at, here.
And the first record we did with Bob, which was great. Got to meet him and stuff, and that was really cool.
Yeah, it's funny, everyone says, so this is your third or fourth record with Bob, whatever. You're like, what's it like working with him? You got to understand, we don't just go in and make a record anymore. When Bob has time for us, and we have time to get with him, hey, how's this look? We just get together and we work. It's like we've never stopped working together. It's not like it's been almost like one continuous project since Rise and Fall, Rage and Grace.
Yeah, in Ixnay we went in for 10 weeks. They booked 10 weeks. We demoed a lot of it or some of it or whatever. Yep. And here we go, 10 weeks, and we were just in like every day. And I didn't want to do it that way after a while. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of too much actually, right? And I feel like you almost need to take a step back every once in a while and look at, take a week off and then listen to it again and go, it's obvious I should have done this, or this guitar sounds shitty or something like that, right? So we ended up kind of switching to more sporadic, especially as our touring picked up, right? We tour a lot. So when we're kind of in between tours, we'll see if Bob has time or whatever, or if we have time, we'll just record. So like we just got done with, it was just about a week, right? And we kind of finished a song and we got a good start on another one. And, and the one that we finished, there was some great stuff that we changed that we wouldn't have thought of changing before, right? That makes it a lot better. So I really like working that way. But like you said, it's not like these 4 discrete times that we worked on a record. It's been sort of continuous.
Like
for
when we worked with Dave Jordan on Ixnay and Americana, that was a chunk for Ixnay and a chunk for Americana. A little bit like that with Brendan O'Brien on the 2 records we did with him as well. But then once we started working with Bob, it's like, hey, things are moving. Do you have time? Can we get in next week, or next month or whatever? Yeah. Boom. Let's do it. So, yeah. And we pick up pretty much right where we left off.
Yeah.
It's always great working with Bob.
Yeah.
Well, Bob's a good dude, man.
Absolutely.
And very smart. Knows his shit, right?
He got us into hockey. He likes hockey.
Fuck,
being Canadian.
Yeah.
He's fucking produced every goddamn song that's played at an arena. I mean, that
guy's
the king of arena rock.
Metallica.
You know, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Motley Crue. Yeah, we went and saw a Ducks game, and they kept playing all these songs. Like, oh, there's Bob.
Oh, Bob song.
There's Bob.
I know.
Bob song.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, that record, too, Rise and Fall, was one of the first times where he was really encouraging us to demo a lot of stuff. I tended to sit on a song until it was pretty much together, and then here kind of it is. But he was like, why don't you demo something even if you only got half of it or whatever, and then kind of see.
Yeah.
So we ended up going through a lot more material to get what we wanted and stuff. And so, like, the one that ended up being the biggest song, You're Gonna Go Far, Kid, you know, you'd have working titles sometimes, right? And then you couldn't even make up working titles after a while. So this was demo, I think it was 21, actually. Like, just crazy to demo that much stuff, right? Yeah. So it was like the 21st thing we demoed and ended up being the biggest one on the record. And now it's like,
it's one of our biggest songs ever.
It might be the biggest song, right? I think it streams the most.
Yeah, it goes off every night. Every time
it was
start
a great
into
song,
it just goes
right?
off.
Like,
incredible.
It's all right.
You know.
Yeah, I know. It's that was a cool record, cool time doing that record.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the reissue, Rise and Fall, Raise Your Grace, you got to talk about the story because they fucked up the vinyl.
They did. Yeah.
And they're supposed to make. They're reissuing the vinyl, right?
They're reissuing the vinyl, and it was supposed to be the non-clean edit, right? Just supposed to be the regular edit.
It's not that we don't want to have clean edits on our songs. It's not like this is our choice, right?
But you have to do it for different radio outlets.
There are certain radio people, and back then there was Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah, Walmart
retailers that wouldn't sell it, and you just had it. It was just one of those things. And we had You're Gonna Go Far, Kid has Dance Fucker Dance, and Shit Is Fucked Up, of course. And then there was one other bad word on that record. I forget exactly which song.
Probably another fuck thrown in somewhere, you know.
But there's some kind of code for the record. You know, I don't know if it's the UPC symbol code or whatever. And that was kind of back then, 15 years ago, somebody at the label or somewhere in the printing fucked up the code.
They call it the clean version, or the explicit version.
But the code should have been the unedited version, you know, all the fucks and all that. And somebody fucked up back then, so they took that code and ran with it and printed it all up, not realizing, oh shit, somehow the clean edit is what we're printing, not the fucking what it should have been.
So here we are with this fancy reissue, right?
Yeah.
the colored vinyl and the crazy cover and stuff for the real fans, the collectors, and it's got the clean version on it, right?
And our fans are pissed.
Shit is not that great right now.
Yeah.
It's just not totally messed up.
Shit kind of sucks a little bit. Stuff kind of sucks.
You know when you're reissuing things, unless. Yeah, I mean, shit happens, and it happened. It was fucked, but it pissed us off.
The person responsible was fired.
Been sacked,
flogged. Yeah, taken out behind the woodshed. And,
So we started seeing messages on social media pretty quickly, right? Like, hey, what's going on with this, right? And we saw one, and then two.
Nobody was stoked on it. Surprisingly,
nobody was happy.
Nobody was stoked, and so they're like, oh no, what do we? You know, the record label's panicking. Of course, they realize they've made a mistake, and they're gonna have to replace all these people's orders.
In tears. Like the guy responsible was in tears. The guy who picked one of the guys, project manager or whatever, was in tears.
So we have to make an announcement. And at first I'm like, what? Don't make too big a deal out of it. How quickly can you fix it? But then it became clear that we had to say something about it. So we drafted. Actually, I got to give you credit, Noodles. You did this one. So you.
I wrote the majority of the announcement. Yeah, and
how did it go?
Came from the heart. I don't remember. Fuck this bullshit.
Yeah, this is total fucking bullshit.
Just said, shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
I just left it like that.
Yeah. We are intelligent people that love our curse words.
Yeah. It was very.
No, it was a great response, actually.
Expletive laden.
And people were.
I wanted to keep
it to get it
short and sweet, but I mean, fuck, we're not. We're not Boy Scouts. I was an altar boy. I'm no longer an altar boy. I can cuss now. I'm an adult.
Of course, we would not want to release something like that, right?
Right.
And and what do you say when it's all going down? You don't want to go stupid label or whatever, and they're doing their best to fix it.
Yeah,
So
I'll say it. You want me to say it?
yeah, sure.
Stupid label.
But
really, I think the original mistake was done 15 years ago and nobody picked up on it.
There should have never been a clean version, in my opinion.
That's the mistake.
That was the mistake.
That's the true mistake.
Yeah.
If we're gonna narrow it, like take it down to that's where the fucking problem was. Fuck a clean version.
Yep.
Did you really think shit was fucked up was gonna be on a rate? Like you gotta. I guess rap songs they bleep out like half the song, so I guess it makes sense that you.
The thing about clean versions though is you know what they're saying. Like the kid and like the parents, okay, I bought the clean version for my kid. The kid knows that burp is fuck. They know. The kids know. So you're just lying to yourselves. It's it's really more to appease the adults.
So is there going to be a clean version of the next record?
They're the perfect child. He's never heard the F word before. Like, oh, fuck off.
Is there a clean version on this next record? Do we have any bad words?
Not.
There better not.
Well, if you want to hire me to throw in a couple of fucks, it's going to cost you a couple of doubles.
It's funny. We have to ask. We don't even think.
Yeah.
No. There's some curse words. There
probably is.
Yeah. I'm trying
to throw in a fuck. At least.
So, but the best part of the whole story is now those mistakes, the clean versions, those are the collector's items, right? It turned out that the hardcore fans are really buying those up, right?
Well, you can't buy them anymore.
Yeah.
So that's actually like
they recalled them and
no one's turning them back in. No, they're just getting everyone's just getting another copy of it, just like a record in a sleeve, that's sent to them with all the proper fucks and shit.
We got to make some nice versions of the next record.
Yeah,
just a couple hundred, couple hundred.
I think we should make some extra dirty,
dirty.
Twice
Throw
the
in a couple of extra.
Just have a bunch of cussing at the end.
Yeah,
for fun.
We could do all that.
Just random.
Do all that.
Fuck it. F-bombs. I'm right here. I'll audition. I'll audition right here.
Wait, so
I get to cover that line on live, but it's a fun one to do.
Yeah. So that all got fixed, right? It all got sent out?
Yeah, I think so. I think the ones that were still in stores that hadn't actually gotten to the customer, I think they were able to
recall those.
And,
I know everybody's got.
That was the plan.
I have my thumb on the pulse now in Daryl's fan group page. But everybody's getting their copies. They've been receiving them. I think the people overseas or something, like it's been a little slower, but everybody kind of stateside has already gotten theirs.
Nice.
Right on. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, let's just talk about how, Sum 41 and Simple Plan were great. They were great every night. The fans were coming early, both Simple Plan fans and Sum 41 fans. They would change who would go on first from time to time.
Who went on first was different.
But
every night
it was packed from the first note all the way through to the end. And the fans stayed from the first band all the way through to the end. We've done tours in venues like that where it's not like that for the first couple bands.
Yeah.
We've been playing and you're still having fans kind of stroll in.
It's happened to us.
So it was rad. But both those bands were great. They killed it every night. Simple Plan has a lot of really poppy songs, but they rock too. They come out. Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with Chuck. The drummer's just phenomenal. Hits really, really heavy, and the guitar players. Jeff is a shredder for sure.
Yeah, no, it was a great bill, man. I mean, I think the three bands all together, like I said, everybody just loved all three bands, and you could tell that it's there's a lot kind of friendships involved, and a lot where they kind of came out to sing song and. With you guys, and everybody was stoked on it, and you could kind of pick up that vibe that it's not just like no one just kind of went out there to earn a paycheck, right? Like everybody was out there having fun, and then again the crowd was all into all three bands, right? So they, the bands kind of, I think,
and all three bands were into the audience every night. Like you said, they're coming out to rock and to have fun. Pierre is such a great frontman, and he really enjoys being out there. Same with Derek. All those guys in Sum 41 are phenomenal players, and they practice backstage, and just super cool guys to hang out with too. It was a very, very chill.
9 guitarists and 2 bass players. 3 bands, 9 guitars, 2 bass players. You do the math. You figure it out.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
I was feeling really nervous on that. I was not nearly one of the best guitar players. I was definitely. I don't know if I was last, but I was close. Like you in the eating contest.
Not last. That's all you gotta set the bar, baby. That's where you set the bar. Not last.
Yeah. There was one show where we were doing Get a Job, Why Don't You Get a Job, and we had Pierre and Derek come out and sing with us.
That was a blast.
Which was really cool.
At Jones Beach, a lot of fun.
Yeah, everybody loved that. I think
a
lot of people kind of shared it. And on
what is our new saying? The best guitar player in the room is the one having the most fun. Then I'm probably the best guitar player in the room. I really do enjoy what I'm doing.
Well, if you define it like that, then sure.
Exactly.
Sure. You're fucking
They say that about surfers. The best surfer in the lineup is the one having the most fun. It
sounds like he's trying to convince you of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I swear. That's the best one.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. If you're having the most fun, you're the best. So
right. No, if you're the drunkest, you're the best.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun when I'm drinking. That's what is it? Shane McGowan from the Pogues said, "Well, we play better when we're sober, but we have more fun when we're drunk."
Yeah.
That's
true.
No, it was a really great tour, and I think like I said, I think the 3 bands really I think people were extremely stoked on all 3 bands,
Definitely,
right? So it was a great bill.
And like I said, they showed up early and stayed, till we were done, till after our encore. It was
no
phenomenal.
Pressure, but your guys are gonna have to beat it next year. So
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But no pressure.
So who are some of your favorite bands that we've toured with? Some that stick out.
Oh, jeez.
I know we've toured with so many
over the years.
Great bands.
I mean, when I had Nitro,
right,
we signed those bands because they were, bands that we admired, and we were friends with and became friends with them. So we got to tour with so many of those bands, like the Vandals,
of course,
AFI and Guttermouth and TSOL and all that stuff. Yeah. So those were some of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All of those bands. The Summer Nationals was a really fun tour with Bad Religion, and then some of the old school punk bands that joined that. Stiff Little Fingers were phenomenal every night.
One of my favorite is SNFU. When you guys play with SNFU, those guys were fucking. I used to love Cheap Pig. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
RIP,
but
sure.
I like that band a lot. Yeah.
Fuck, they were amazing. You know.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, playing with Rancid, especially those early tours when things were going off for both bands was really cool. Pennywise, of course, and we still
Pennywise
do
and
shows
NoFX were just.
Well, dude,
really good
I think one of my favorite was Strung Out in AFI.
Oh, yeah.
That tour.
Shit, 94 still,
something
I think.
Like, that was fucking...
That was great.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I just remember having so
I really
much
like
fun.
Strung Out. Those guys are nice guys, too.
Yeah.
And
fun to drink
little
with.
metal, but I kind of like that as a guitar player.
Oh, I
mean,
love
they're
it.
shredders.
Well, that double bass drum is... Fuck, they're great. I love those guys. And they're super fun live and fun to drink with. And, that was one of my favorite, to kind of see.
We've toured with some great all girl bands. L7, Sum 41, L7 Lunatics. Sorry, Sum 41.
Yeah, you're not girls.
But unfortunately, especially back then, back when we toured with them, we had a lot of knuckle dragger dudes in the audience that just did not. They weren't nice to the girl bands. Melissa Alftamar probably had it worst.
I remember that. I felt really bad about that.
Yeah.
She
was great, but
look, we know what it's like to be the opening band. It's hard, right? Because they're not there to see you, and you're just hoping to get people to dig it.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and you feel self-conscious because they're not there for you and stuff. And especially if, God forbid, you're not exactly the same genre. Like if we go on before freaking Gorilla Biscuits, right? They're just like agnostic front or whatever, just staring at us like, oh God, get out. Right. So that was tough. So we were very sympathetic to that happening to other bands. And
for sure.
And sometimes, unfortunately, the girl bands, it was kind of the worst, especially back in the late 90s.
A lot of sexism too. There was a lot of that, unfortunately.
Yeah. In the 90s, it was kind of a little more rampant, I think, than now.
For sure. Yeah.
But the thing was, we had songs called "I've Got No Self-Esteem." It wasn't like we were Limp Bizkit, break shit. I didn't see us drawing that audience, right? It didn't make sense that our audience was making those kinds of comments, right, and stuff, and it was just so weird. But we always yelled at him. You know,
yeah.
we just
and you know what? All those bands really did kind of hold their own, especially like the Lunatics seemed like they just knew who they were enough. They didn't give a fuck. They were okay. Fuck you, Musclehead. I'm playing for the
other
the
people
that get it.
Out,
yeah. Same with L7. They would just go out and kick ass every night, and just great bands and solid people.
Well, it's crazy. Well, times have changed so much now, right? With bands like Bad Cop, and there's so many great female-fronted bands, Interrupters, that are Pussy Riot. So many bands that are just so fucking good that now it's not even a thing. I don't think, right? So, not like
I wonder
the 90s.
if they still like. I wonder if Bad Cop. I think it is different. I think it's
I think things have changed. And maybe I mean, listen, me personally,
it'd be
I think
interesting. Next time I run into them, I'll ask. I know Lynn and Stacy fairly well.
Yeah, well, I think you get like every like 500 miles you get towards the center of America, you get like 10 years back in time.
Is that how it works?
Issues, I think so.
Circles.
That's kind of my so yeah, probably the closer you get to the center of Oklahoma, maybe not so much, but definitely the coast. Right. I think things are much more accepted.
You don't think just because of the internet and and social media that the world's getting smaller? Like even kids in Oklahoma have TikTok now.
Nothing against Oklahoma.
You haven't been on Facebook in a while, I don't think. People are
nothing
devolving.
against. Yeah, of course.
We're literally devolving with more information. So no, I don't think that.
Right, more information is not helping.
Yeah, it's actually hurting things right now. So
There's an
no,
argument there
I
for
100%
sure.
don't think that.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think I don't want to shit on rural America because I think there's some really great fans first of all there.
For sure.
And I fucking love getting out into the country and the less populated parts
totally.
of
No. Listen, I mean, listen, I've worked as an insurance adjuster. I've worked in I do a lot of storms, right? Like when there's a storm in different places. And obviously where the storms are kind of the more kind of flyover states, right? And everybody's actually is super cool, everybody's really rad. And quite honestly, everybody really wants the same thing, I think, right? And everybody just wants to live their lives how they want to live their lives. But and nobody's as divided as I think the media portrays, I think, right? And I think that's really what the dividing. I don't want to get into a bunch of shit, especially drunk.
Please tell me when you go to the more rural red states, you wear your Garth Brooks Gorilla Biscuits shirt?
Oh, 100%. Come on.
Yeah.
You know me, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I definitely, listen, when I go look at people, because I'll go work a storm. I'll be out there for a month, right? Just looking at regular people's cars.
Right.
And
so when you say storm, like hurricanes or tornadoes?
Hurricanes, hailstorms,
Hailstorms,
so I'll go out and just go work at a storm for a month, right?
Wow.
So like I went like the Moore, Oklahoma tornado that went through. That was like
that was
surreal,
crazy, right?
dude.
Yeah.
To actually go out there and see it was like fucking like holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
But and like I said, everybody, it would pretty much just wants the same thing, right? Like everybody's just really, everybody just wants to pay their taxes for.
I don't know if that's true.
Library.
I don't think that's
roads
true.
And libraries.
Not everybody wants to pay their
family.
taxes.
Yeah. The only place I ever had like crazy shit was Mississippi. That's where people were like, fucking
really?
like, you're a Yankee, man. If
really?
You're a fucking Yankee.
Carpetbagger.
Yeah, like I've never had more people tell me like, oh, you like the.
Yankee from Seattle.
I should probably not get into too many. Like I don't know. But there was a couple of times where I was just really floored the way people talk to me.
Yeah.
Like
we travel all over the world, but we travel. I mean, we're traveling in a cocoon where we're this rock band, and we get preferential treatment everywhere we go. Occasionally I can just go walk around and go get something to eat or go to a store or something and just deal with the locals and they don't know who I am. But
But look at those glasses. I mean, come on. How often is that really going to happen?
I don't know who you are. Yeah, seriously.
My glasses aren't nearly as bad as they used to be.
You were telling me that you made the mistake the other day of riding around your neighborhood on a bicycle with no hat on.
No hat on. I was riding my wife's bike, too. So a girl's bike with a basket and flower basket on front because it held my water bottle.
Riding down PCH. And people going, hey, Noodles.
Well,
Noodles.
It was the air show. It was the HB air show, and it was packed. But it was great people watching. But yeah, like I was getting called out.
You could just drive around, on a bike, on a fucking girl's bike. You know, that's the thing. Like some of these people, they get these fucking cars, these Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and then they got to get them. That's like not enough that they have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, but they got to get a fucking bright green. So like more, look at me. Look at me. In case you didn't see, I'm in a Ferrari. It's fucking bright green, so you don't miss it. Yeah. You know. Yeah, don't fucking ride around a girl's bike with no fucking hat. What the fuck is the matter with you?
It's the same thing. Don't you see? You're as bad as that asshole in a bright green Ferrari.
Yeah, I wish I was in a bright green Ferrari. I was on a bike with a flowered basket on it.
Yeah, that screams, look at me. Yeah. I would fucking stare. Yeah, I would stare.
I got a black hat, and I'm gonna start wearing sunglasses now. And
all right,
go out incognito.
No one will tell.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Is that it?
I'm ready to take a break.
I gotta pee.